Hey Switch fans, welcome back to SwitchTop. As we head toward 2026, I wanted to put together a list of the absolute must-play games you need to experience on your Switch. These are the titles that define the Switch library, games that you absolutely cannot miss. From incredible RPGs to revolutionary open-world adventures, these are the experiences that make the Switch such an amazing console. Let's count them down. Absolum stands out as one of the most compelling action experiences on Nintendo Switch, especially if you enjoy a blend of classic brawler energy and roguelite depth. At its core, the game builds around tight, side-scrolling combat where timing matters. Light and heavy strikes flow into smooth combos, dodges create moments of counterplay, and well-timed deflections can stagger tough enemies. Each playable hero brings a distinct rhythm, from swift, dagger-based skirmishing to heavy weapon setups or ranged magical offense, giving every run a different texture. Progress unfolds through a run-based structure, where rituals modify your abilities or elemental affinities, gradually shaping unique builds as you push deeper into shifting levels. Enemy waves, pathways, and upgrades change each time, turning experimentation into part of the fun. Along the way, you collect permanent stat boosts and unlock new skills that expand your long-term options. Whether played solo or in co-op, Absolum's mix of fluid animation, varied characters, and evolving builds makes it a standout action title worth diving into before 2026. Neon Inferno quickly earns its spot as a must-play action shooter on Nintendo Switch, thanks to its energetic blend of classic run-and-gun gameplay and a clever dual-plane system that keeps every fight dynamic. You move through side-scrolling stages packed with enemies while constantly switching between foreground and background lanes, forcing you to manage threats coming from multiple depths at once. The gunplay feels fast and punchy, but the melee blade adds a stylish defensive twist, letting you deflect certain projectiles and even redirect shots during brief, slow-motion windows. Platforming sections and evasive maneuvers further shape the flow, making encounters feel like a mix of raw reflex challenges and smart positioning. Each stage leans into a dense cyberpunk mood, filled with neon-lit streets, smoky clubs, and chaotic set pieces that escalate the tension. The detailed pixel art and synth-driven tone enhance the momentum, giving the action a distinct identity. For players who enjoy shooters with intensity, rhythm, and unmistakable attitude, Neon Inferno stands out as a standout pick before 2026. Cosmic Invasion stands out as a must-play Switch title thanks to its energetic mix of classic beat-em-up action and a clever tag team system that keeps combat constantly evolving. You head into each mission with two heroes and can swap between them mid-fight, using one character to open a combo and the other to extend it or break through tougher enemy groups. Every hero feels distinct, whether you're controlling an agile fighter with fast strings or a cosmic powerhouse with heavy, screen-shaking abilities. Defensive tools like dodges and blocks give the brawling a rhythm that rewards timing instead of button mashing, while special attacks add flashy momentum to chaotic encounters. In co-op, battles turn even wilder, with up to 4 players chaining moves and assists together. The presentation leans heavily into a vibrant comic book style, using bold colors, expressive animations, and detailed environments that highlight street-level scuffles as much as cosmic showdowns. For fans of team-based brawlers, character variety, and cooperative action, Marvel Cosmic Invasion earns its place as one of the Switch's standout experiences before 2026. Shin Megami Tensei 5: Vengeance follows a high school student in Tokyo who gets transported to Dot, a post-apocalyptic version of the world filled with demons after a tunnel collapse. You fuse with a mysterious entity to become a Nahobino, a forbidden being with the power to fight demons and decide the fate of both worlds. The Vengeance route adds a new storyline path with different characters and an alternate perspective on the conflict between order and chaos. The press-turn battle system is the core mechanic, Exploiting enemy weaknesses gives you extra turns, but enemies can do the same to you, making every fight tactical. You recruit demons by negotiating with them mid-battle, convincing them to join through dialogue choices that depend on their personalities. Demon Fusion lets you combine recruited demons to create stronger ones, inheriting skills in the process. Building the right team with complementary abilities is essential for harder encounters. The game has you exploring large open areas in Dot, finding hidden paths, treasures, and optional bosses. Your choices throughout the story determine which ending you get, with major branching points that shift the narrative. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, earns its place as a must-play on Switch by delivering a rich, tactical RPG experience built around thoughtful positioning, job customization, and battles that reward planning over brute force. Fights unfold on isometric grid maps, where terrain height, movement limits, and attack ranges shape every decision, making each turn feel deliberate. The job system remains the star. You can train characters across a wide variety of roles, unlocking skills that can be mixed and matched to create specialized builds, from frontline bruisers to evasive rogues or versatile mages. A dynamic turn order system adds tension by letting faster units act more frequently, pushing you to consider speed as much as raw power. The remake's updated interface and quality of life tweaks streamline party management and make longer encounters more comfortable without compromising the strategic heart of the experience. Combined with a grounded, politically charged atmosphere that gives each conflict narrative weight, the game offers a deep, flexible strategy experience that's easy to sink into and hard to put down before 2026. Dragon Quest XI's tells the story of the Luminary, a young man who discovers on his coming-of-age ceremony that he's the reincarnation of an ancient hero, destined to save the world from darkness. After being branded a traitor by the kingdom, you set out on a journey to understand your destiny while gathering allies and confronting the demonic threat. The turn-based combat lets you control a party of characters, each with distinct roles like damage dealers, healers, and support. You can switch between party members during battle to adapt to different enemy types. The pep system builds up as you fight, eventually letting characters enter a powered-up state with access to special combination attacks. Character building involves skill trees, where you spend points to unlock new abilities and stat bonuses for each character. The world is massive, with towns to explore, side quests to complete, and optional content everywhere. Crafting lets you forge and improve equipment using materials found throughout your adventure. The orchestral soundtrack and beautiful cel-shaded graphics bring the fantasy world to life.
Fight and fight some more!
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown follows Sargon, a member of an elite Persian warrior group called the Immortals, who travels to the cursed Mount Kaf to rescue the kidnapped Prince Ghassan. Time itself is broken on the mountain, with past and present colliding as you navigate through the twisted palace filled with monsters and traps. The combat is fast and skill-based, with a parry system that rewards perfect timing. Nail the timing, and you'll deflect attacks and open enemies up for devastating counters. You have light and heavy attacks that combo together, plus special abilities called time powers that let you manipulate time in combat and exploration. These powers include things like creating a time clone that mimics your actions, or rewinding yourself to a previous position. The platforming is extremely precise, with tight controls for wall running, air dashing, and grappling through complex sections. The Metroidvania structure means you'll revisit areas with new abilities to access previously blocked paths. Boss fights are intense, pattern-based encounters that test your mastery of parrying and dodging.
Mystical creatures roam Mount Kaf and its surroundings. Armed with his swords, Sargon can slash through his enemies and perform impressive juggling combos.
Menelaus' bow. What's going on?
You can also wield a powerful bow, greatly enhancing offensive and...
Animal Crossing: New Horizons starts with you taking Tom Nook's getaway package to a deserted island where you'll build a new life from scratch. There's no real plot driving you forward. Instead, you create your own story by developing your island, making friends with animal villagers who move in, and participating in seasonal events throughout the year. The game runs in real time, synced to your system clock, so day and night cycles match reality, and different creatures appear in different seasons. Your daily routine involves gathering resources like wood, stone, and iron to craft furniture and tools. Fishing and bug catching fill your museum and provide income through selling to Nook's shop. The crafting system lets you build everything from tools to furniture, with DIY recipes found by shooting down balloons, talking to villagers, or buying from shops. Terraforming unlocks later and gives you incredible control. You can raise or lower land, create rivers and cliffs, and completely reshape your island's layout. Decorating is the heart of the experience, with thousands of furniture items and clothing options. The online features let you visit friends' islands, trade items, and share custom designs. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition on Switch delivers a dense, choice-driven RPG that feels surprisingly natural on a hybrid console, letting you step into Night City with a mix of mobility and freedom that suits its open-world structure. You shape your mercenary through attributes, skills, and cyberware, deciding whether you want to hack security systems from the shadows, blast enemies with ranged weapons, or charge in using heavy cyber muscle and melee tools. The city itself is a major part of the experience, offering crowded streets, hostile zones, and branching missions that react to your decisions, giving each playthrough its own tone. Combat blends gunplay, stealth, hacking, and gadget use, allowing you to switch tactics based on how you build your character. The Switch version adds flexible controls, such as gyro aiming and touchscreen navigation, making exploration and firefights feel comfortable on the go. With expanded content and refined systems, the package creates a cohesive cyberpunk playground where style, player choice, and mechanical depth work together to deliver one of the most ambitious handheld RPG experiences available before 2026. Hollow Knight's Silksong follows Hornet, the princess protector from the first game, who finds herself captured and taken to a strange kingdom called Farloom. She needs to fight her way up from the depths to the kingdom's peak while uncovering the mysteries of this new land and finding a way home. The gameplay expands on the original's precision platforming and combat with Hornet's unique moveset. She's faster and more aggressive than the Knight, using her needle and thread for attacks and mobility. Your Silk meter replaces Soul from the first game, building up as you hit enemies and used for healing or special abilities. Hornet can perform aerial tricks that keep her airborne longer, opening up more complex platforming sequences. The combat emphasizes aggressive play, with new tools like traps you can set and abilities that reward staying on the offensive. The world is massive, with interconnected areas, following the Metroidvania design, where new abilities open shortcuts and secret paths. You'll encounter a cast of strange characters, some friendly and others hostile, each with their own stories. Boss fights are challenging encounters that require learning patterns and executing precise dodges and counters. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom flips the formula by putting you in control of Princess Zelda herself as the main hero. The story begins with Link being swallowed by mysterious rifts appearing across Hyrule, and Zelda must save both Link and the kingdom from this strange new threat. Instead of wielding a sword, Zelda uses the Tri-Rod, a magical staff that lets you create Echo's copies of objects and enemies you've encountered. This completely changes how you approach challenges, since you're solving problems through creativity rather than direct combat. You can create echoes of beds to reach high places, copy enemies to fight for you, or spawn objects to block attacks and create bridges. The puzzle solving has incredible depth because there are usually multiple solutions. You might stack furniture to climb up, create a trampoline to bounce higher, or summon a flying enemy to carry you across gaps. Combat involves strategic thinking as you summon echoes of monsters to fight other enemies, while you support them or create obstacles to control the battlefield. Zelda can also enter a sword fighter form for limited times when you need direct combat. Trails in the Sky First Chapter stands out as a must-play JRPG on Switch, thanks to its balanced mix of thoughtful combat, character growth, and world building that rewards exploration. You follow Estelle and Joshua as they travel the Kingdom of Liberal, taking on quests that slowly pull you into a deeper political mystery. But the game never rushes you. It builds its charm through detailed towns, expressive NPCs, and side quests that make the world feel alive. Battles use a turn-based system built around an action time order, letting you plan moves by considering positioning, spell charge times, and incoming enemy turns. Characters can unleash physical skills through crafts, cast versatile elemental arts, or trigger powerful S-crafts when their energy gauge is full, giving encounters a mix of strategy and bursts of momentum. Progression feels personal thanks to the orbment system, where equipping different quartz unlocks spells, stat bonuses, and unique builds. With its warm atmosphere, steady pacing, and strategic combat depth, the game delivers a classic JRPG experience that still feels fresh and engaging before 2026.
Not done yet.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound brings the hardcore action series back in 2D form, following a young ninja seeking revenge against the demonic forces that destroyed their clan. Your journey takes you through a dark fantasy world, mixing feudal Japan with supernatural horror as you uncover the truth behind the invasion. The combat is brutally challenging and precise. You have light and heavy attacks that chain into combos, plus special ninja arts that consume your ki meter. Defense is just as important as offense, with blocking, dodging, and the crucial counter system that lets you deflect attacks at the last second for devastating responses. Wall running and platforming blend seamlessly with combat as you navigate vertical environments while fighting enemies. Your ninja has access to different weapons like katanas, kusarigama, and dual swords, each with unique movesets and timing requirements. The shuriken and other projectiles let you deal with airborne enemies or soften up groups before engaging. Each level is filled with traps, environmental hazards, and tough enemy placements designed to test your skills. Super Mario Odyssey has Mario traveling across different kingdoms in his airship, the Odyssey, chasing after Bowser, who's kidnapped Princess Peach for a forced wedding ceremony. Along the way, Mario teams up with Cappy, a sentient hat whose sister was also captured by Bowser. The revolutionary capture mechanic is the core of the gameplay. Throwing Cappy lets you possess enemies and objects, taking control of them and gaining their unique abilities. You can become a T-Rex to smash through obstacles, a Bullet Bill to fly through the air, or even a tank to blast enemies. Each kingdom has a completely different theme, from a metropolitan, New York-inspired city to a food-themed world made of giant vegetables. The movement is incredibly fluid, with Mario's expanded moveset including new jumps, dives, and Cappy throws that can be chained together for creative platforming sequences. Instead of traditional stars, you collect power moons, which are hidden everywhere. Some require tough platforming challenges, others involve solving puzzles or helping NPCs with tasks. The game has over 800 moons total, encouraging thorough exploration of every corner. Metroid Prime Remastered puts you in the power suit of Samus Aran, investigating a distress signal from a space pirate's frigate orbiting planet Talon 4. After a catastrophic explosion forces you to crash land on the planet below, you discover the ruins of an ancient alien civilization and a dangerous substance called Phazon that's corrupting everything it touches. The first-person exploration and combat create an immersive experience as you scan environments to learn lore and identify enemy weaknesses. Combat involves locking onto enemies, circling around them while shooting, and dodging their attacks with precise timing. Your arm cannon has different beam weapons, effective against specific enemy types, and missiles provide heavy damage options. The Morph Ball ability lets you roll into tight spaces, traverse through small tunnels, and drop bombs to solve puzzles or damage enemies. As you explore, you gain abilities like the Boost Ball, Grapple Beam, and different visors that reveal hidden paths and secrets. The world design is interconnected Metroidvania style, where new abilities open shortcuts back to previous areas and unlock access to new sections. Scanning everything reveals deep lore about the Chozo civilization and the Phazon corruption. Fire Emblem Three Houses places you as a mercenary who becomes a professor at the Officers' Academy in the Garreg Mach Monastery. You choose to lead one of three houses, the Black Eagles, Blue Lions, or Golden Deer, each with different students and storylines. The first half involves teaching your students and building relationships, while the second half jumps 5 years forward into a continent-spanning war where your early choices determine which side you fight for. The tactical combat plays on grid-based maps where you position your units considering weapon advantages, terrain effects, and character abilities. Each character has classes they can reclass into by training different skills, letting you customize your army composition. The weapon triangle system means swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords, forcing you to think about unit matchups. Permadeath is an option where losing a character means they're gone forever, adding serious weight to every decision. The calendar system means you have limited weekends to choose between exploring, battling auxiliary missions, or resting to boost motivation.
I'll cut through. Over already. I must keep aiming higher.
Super Mario Galaxy follows Mario as he crashes Bowser's attack on the Mushroom Kingdom during a festival and gets blasted into space. He wakes up on a small planet and meets Rosalina, who explains that Bowser has stolen the Power Stars, fueling her observatory, and kidnapped Peach. Mario must travel across dozens of galaxies, collecting stars to power the observatory and reach Bowser's fortress. The gravity-based platforming is the core mechanic. Each planet has its own gravitational pull, letting you run around spherical surfaces and jump between planetoids. The spin attack using motion controls defeats enemies and activates objects. Galaxy 2 expands on this formula with Yoshi, who adds flutter jumps and tongue abilities to eat enemies and grab onto specific flowers. Both games feature incredible level variety, from tropical beaches to haunting ghost ships and gravity-defying constructs. The power-ups include the Bee Mushroom for flying short distances, the Boo Mushroom for turning invisible and floating, and the Fire Flower for shooting fireballs. Comet stars appear after beating galaxies, adding harder versions with time limits or challenges. Kirby in the Forgotten Land has Kirby getting pulled through a vortex to a mysterious, post-apocalyptic world where nature has reclaimed abandoned cities. The Waddle Dees from his home have been kidnapped by the Beast Pack, and Kirby must explore this forgotten land to rescue them all while uncovering what happened to this civilization. The game shifts the series into 3D with a third-person perspective that opens up exploration while keeping the classic copyability gameplay. Kirby can still inhale enemies to copy their powers, gaining abilities like Sword, Bomb, Fire, and Ice that completely change how you play. The new Mouthful mode lets Kirby swallow massive objects he can't fully consume. Inhaling a car lets you drive around running over enemies. Swallowing a vending machine lets you shoot cans as projectiles, and swallowing a ring lets you glide through the air. Each level has hidden Waddle Dees to rescue by completing specific objectives, like finding secret areas or beating levels without taking damage. Ability upgrades let you evolve your copy abilities into stronger forms with new moves. The hub world of Waddle Dee Town grows as you rescue more Waddle Dees, unlocking minigames and shops. Stardew Valley starts with you inheriting your grandfather's old farm in Stardew Valley after growing tired of corporate life in the city. You arrive to find the farm completely overgrown and the small town struggling as the community center sits abandoned, while the Joja Corporation moves in. Your goal is rebuilding the farm while integrating into the community and potentially restoring the town's heart. The gameplay loop involves waking up each day and deciding how to spend your limited energy. Clearing land, planting crops, watering plants, tending animals, mining in caves, or fishing in various spots. Each season lasts 28 days with different crops available, forcing you to plan ahead. As you make money, you expand your farm with new buildings, better tools, and automation like sprinklers that water crops for you. The villagers each have their own schedules, preferences, and storylines that unfold as you build friendships by giving gifts and talking to them. You can romance and marry certain villagers, eventually having children. The community center bundles require you to gather specific items to restore rooms, rewarding you with useful unlocks. Hades follows Zagreus, the son of Hades, attempting to escape the Greek underworld to reach the surface and find his mother, Persephone. Each escape attempt takes you through randomly generated chambers filled with enemies, ending when you either reach the surface or die trying. The story brilliantly integrates death into the narrative. Every time you die, you wake back up in the House of Hades, where you can talk to gods, shades, and other residents, slowly piecing together family drama and mythological secrets. The combat is fast and fluid, with dodge dashing and basic attacks from your weapon of choice. You have 6 weapons, ranging from a sword to a bow to fists, each with multiple aspects that change how they function. During runs, Olympian gods offer boons that modify your abilities. Zeus adds lightning chain damage, Athena makes your attacks deflect projectiles, Poseidon adds knockback effects. The synergy between different boons creates virtually endless build possibilities. Permanent upgrades through the Mirror of Night and weapon improvements using Titan Blood give you lasting progression. Building relationships with characters by giving them nectar unlocks keepsakes that provide powerful passive bonuses.
You wanna die again?
Persona 5 Royal puts you in the role of a high school student who transfers to Tokyo after being falsely accused of assault. You and your friends discover the ability to enter the metaverse, a cognitive world where people's distorted desires manifest as palaces. As the Phantom Thieves, you infiltrate these palaces to steal the corrupt hearts of adults abusing their power, forcing them to confess their crimes. The game brilliantly splits your time between dungeon crawling and daily life simulation. During the day, you attend school, build relationships with classmates and other characters through social links, work part-time jobs, and improve your social stats like knowledge and charm. At night, you can explore palaces or train in randomly generated dungeons called mementos. The turn-based combat focuses on exploiting enemy weaknesses to knock them down, earning extra turns through the One More system. Hitting all enemies' weaknesses triggers an all-out attack for massive damage. You summon personas, which are manifestations of your psyche, each with different abilities and elemental affinities. You can fuse personas together to create stronger ones, inheriting skills in the process. Managing your limited time is crucial, since every activity takes up a time slot, forcing you to prioritize which relationships to build and which stats to improve.
Ravage them!
Immune to curse. I had hoped we could end this quickly.
Do it!
Not there yet.
Persona! Get wrecked!
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition takes place on the bodies of 2 massive titans frozen in combat, the Bionis and Mechonis. You play as Shulk, a young scientist who lives on the Bionis and wields the Monado, a legendary sword that can cut through the mechanical enemies from Mechonis. After a devastating attack on his home colony, Shulk sets out on a revenge quest that evolves into something much bigger as he uncovers the truth about the Titans and the war between organic and mechanical life. The real-time combat system has you controlling one character, while AI controls your party members. You auto-attack when in range, but the depth comes from positioning and using arts, special abilities on cooldowns that have different effects based on where you attack from. Breaking enemy defense, toppling them, and then dazing them creates powerful combo chains. The Monado gives Shulk visions of the future, showing you devastating attacks before they happen, letting you warn allies or change equipment to prevent deaths. The world is absolutely massive, with wide open areas begging to be explored. You can see landmarks from miles away and actually travel to them. Side quests involve helping colony residents, and completing them changes NPC dialogue and relationships. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door follows Mario as he travels to the port town of Rogueport, searching for Princess Peach after receiving a treasure map from her. The map leads to the legendary crystal stars hidden beneath the town, but an evil organization called the X-Nauts is also searching for them to unlock an ancient power sealed behind the Thousand-Year Door. The story takes you to diverse locations, from a fighting arena to a luxury train to a tropical island, each with their own mysteries and characters. The turn-based combat uses timed button presses to enhance attacks and reduce damage. Hitting A at the right moment makes your jump deal more damage, while timing blocks reduces incoming hits. Your partner characters fight alongside you, each with unique abilities both in combat and exploration. Audience members watch your battles from the sides, and performing stylishly fills your star power meter for devastating special moves. Outside combat, you use Mario's paper abilities to solve puzzles, folding into a paper airplane to cross gaps, rolling into a tube to fit through bars, or turning sideways to slip through cracks. Badge equipment lets you customize Mario's stats and abilities extensively. Mario Kart World takes the classic racing formula and expands it with an adventure mode where you travel across different themed kingdoms, racing to become the champion. The story follows Mario and the gang as they compete in a worldwide tournament, but Bowser schemes to sabotage the races and claim the championship trophy. Each kingdom has unique environmental themes that affect racing. Desert kingdoms have sandstorms that reduce visibility, ice kingdoms have slippery surfaces, and sky kingdoms feature anti-gravity sections. The racing maintains the series' tight controls, with drifting for speed boosts, item boxes for weapons and power-ups, and the classic roster of characters. New mechanics include the ability to perform tricks off ramps for speed boosts and the glider sections where you fly through the air. The adventure mode features boss races against kingdom rulers and challenge missions that test specific skills like time trials or collection objectives. Between races, you explore hub areas, talking to NPCs, finding shortcuts, and unlocking new customization parts for your kart. Vehicle customization goes deeper than previous games, with bodies, wheels, and gliders that significantly impact your stats. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the definitive version of the series' best racing game, featuring 48 tracks with all DLC included right out of the box. There's no traditional story mode, but the Grand Prix mode has you racing through different cups, earning points based on placement across 4 races. The racing feels perfect, with responsive controls, satisfying drifting that builds boost through corners, and anti-gravity sections that let you drive on walls and ceilings. When you bump into other racers during anti-gravity, you both get a speed boost, encouraging aggressive driving. The roster includes 42 characters from across the Nintendo universe, each with slightly different weight classes affecting handling and top speed. Vehicle customization lets you mix and match kart bodies, wheels, and gliders to create stat combinations matching your playstyle. The item system maintains the chaotic fun the series is known for, green and red shells for direct attacks, the coin item for small speed boosts, the Super Horn to destroy incoming shells, including the dreaded blue shell. The game runs at 60 frames per second in both docked and handheld modes, keeping everything buttery smooth. Donkey Kong Bonanza earns its must-play status on Switch by blending classic platforming charm with a surprisingly free-form, sandbox-style structure built around exploration and environmental interaction. Instead of sticking to simple jumps and rolls, you can smash through walls, dig into soft terrain, toss heavy objects, and reshape parts of the underground world as you push deeper into its themed layers. That sense of physicality makes movement feel playful and unpredictable, especially when the game's transformation system comes into play. By collecting special energy, Donkey Kong can shift into animal-inspired forms that rewrite how you navigate. One might let you glide across wide gaps, another barrels through rock, while others enhance speed, strength, or vertical movement. Each transformation opens alternate routes and encourages experimenting with the world rather than just passing through it. Co-op adds another layer, with a partner character able to support exploration and combat through unique abilities that complement Donkey Kong's toolkit. With its mix of destructible environments, creative traversal, and layered underground design, Bonanza offers a fresh, energetic take on the series that feels right at home before 2026. Astral Chain takes place in a futuristic megacity called the Ark, humanity's last refuge from interdimensional creatures called chimeras. You play as a rookie officer joining Neuron, an elite police task force that uses captured chimeras called legions as living weapons. After your twin sibling is attacked during your first mission, you're thrust into investigating the increasing chimera invasions while uncovering a conspiracy within the city's government. The combat system is completely unique. You control your character and your legion simultaneously through the chain connecting you. You can attack enemies while your legion strikes from a different angle, wrap the chain around enemies to bind them, or pull yourself toward the legion for quick movement. You unlock 5 different legion types throughout the game, each with distinct combat styles and abilities. The Sword Legion for quick attacks, the Arrow Legion for ranged combat, the Arm Legion for heavy damage, the Beast Legion for mobility, and the Axe Legion for defense. Between action sequences, you investigate crime scenes, examining evidence, questioning witnesses, and piecing together what happened. These detective sections use your legion's special senses to find invisible clues. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake brings the legendary RPGs that started the genre back with stunning HD 2D visuals that blend 3D environments with pixel art characters. The first game follows the descendant of the legendary hero Erdrick as you journey to defeat the Dragon Lord, who has stolen the Ball of Light and kidnapped Princess Gora. The second game takes place years later, with multiple descendants of Erdrick teaming up to stop the cult of Hargon from summoning an ancient evil god. The turn-based combat is straightforward, with basic commands like attack, spell, item, and run. In Dragon Quest I, you adventure solo, gaining levels and gradually becoming stronger. Dragon Quest II expands this with a party system, where 3 characters join forces, each with different abilities and spell lists. Magic spells cover healing, offensive damage, support buffs, and utility like revealing hidden stairs or returning to towns instantly. Equipment management is crucial, as better weapons and armor significantly increase your survival chances. Random encounters occur while exploring the overworld and dungeons, earning you experience and gold. The world map gradually opens up as you acquire ships and keys to unlock new areas. Hades' 2 shifts focus to Melinoë, the princess of the underworld and sister to Zagreus from the first game. Trained by the witch Hecate, Melinoë must battle her way through the underworld and beyond to stop Kronos, the Titan of Time, who has escaped imprisonment and threatens reality itself. Like the first game, each run takes you through randomly generated encounters with different enemy combinations and layouts. The combat feels faster and more aggressive than the original, with Malinois using magical abilities alongside her weapons. You start with a witch's staff that has ranged and melee attacks, but unlock additional weapons like sickles and torch that completely change your playstyle. The boon system returns, with Olympian gods offering power-ups, but now there are also new deities providing boons tied to nature and witchcraft themes. The major addition is the surface world. Instead of just escaping the underworld, you're traveling upward to confront Kronos in the mortal realm. Time manipulation mechanics play into both combat and exploration, with abilities to slow enemies or rewind environmental hazards. The relationship system expands with more characters, each with their own questlines unlocked by giving them nectar.
A soul tonic.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom stand as two of the most essential adventures on Switch, each offering a massive open world built around curiosity, experimentation, and free-form problem-solving. In Breath of the Wild, Hyrule becomes a vast playground where nearly every hill, ruin, and hidden corner invites exploration, and the physics-driven systems encourage improvisation in both combat and puzzles. You climb almost anything, glide across valleys, manipulate fire, wind, and electricity, and use environmental reactions to outsmart enemies or reach distant areas. Tears of the Kingdom expands that foundation by adding new layers above and below the world, letting you move between sky islands and underground caverns while experimenting with an inventive toolkit built around construction and creative traversal. Abilities like Ultra Hand and Fuse let you combine materials, craft makeshift vehicles or weapons, and solve challenges through your own ideas rather than prescribed solutions. Across both games, the rhythm of discovery remains constant. You set your own goals, uncover shrines and secrets at your pace, and improvise your way through encounters with tools that reward imagination. Together, they offer a sense of freedom and adventure unmatched on the platform, making them must-play experiences before 2026. And there you have it, 30 must-play Nintendo Switch games before we hit 2026. These games represent the absolute best of what the Switch has to offer, from innovative Nintendo classics to incredible indie gems. Whether you love action, RPGs, or just relaxing gameplay, there's something here for everyone. Which of these games have you already played? Which ones are on your backlog? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Until next time!